when I started watching Gideon, and for a good half of the film, I thought that I would be summarising this by saying the characters are great, the narrative is slow. But after the halfway mark, everything became so fascinating and so great. So if you've tried watching this film before and you maybe didn't stick with it, I'd say go back and give it another go because it does kind of feel like a film of two halves, but the characters are definitely great. This was released in 1998. It's directed by Claudia Hoover and written by Brad Merman, and it stars Christopher Lambert as Gideon. And we also have a personal favourite, Crystal Bernard, and we also have a cast including Charlton Heston, Carroll O'Connor, Shirley Jones, Mike Connors, Barbara Bain, Shelley Winters, Christopher McDonald. Really strong cast, really great performances. The characters are all brilliant. I don't think there was a character in this. Well, there's a character I didn't like because they're not meant to be likeable, but I think all of the characters were really well written, really great performances, and the narrative seemed interesting to begin with, and then not a lot happened, and then everything happened. Now, I'm not going to go into any spoiler details, so I won't give away any of the good stuff, but if you have tried watching it, I'd say stick with it, give it another go. It definitely picks up around the halfway mark. I didn't time it, but it was roughly half of the film. Gideon moves into a retirement home. However, there's a bit of a mystery surrounding this because he's a lot younger than the other residents. Initially, they're not going to let him stay there, but he manages to find a way to make it work. And we don't really know exactly why this is. I won't give away any more than that, but that was certainly quite interesting. Gideon as a character is a very well-written character. I know I said that about all of them, but this character in particular is fabulous. He has a very different outlook. He has certain behaviours that are maybe atypical to the rest of the residents, and he's definitely a really interesting one. And everybody seemed to take to him quite quickly, which I thought was really nice. He's very likeable, and that just progresses as the film goes on. There are a lot of characters in this, a lot of main characters, because we have a lot of residents and they all bring something different. We learn more about some of them than we do others, but I think each of them pretty much had a nice amount of screen time to feel like we got a good sense of who they were and what their attitudes were like. And I ultimately rather enjoyed it. As I said, to begin with, probably about half of the film, very, very slow, but the characters are really great. So I feel like even when the narrative was slow, I was enjoying the characters, I was enjoying the performances, but I was thinking, okay, I'm probably going to have to say the narrative wasn't very good, even if the characters are. But thankfully, things definitely flipped around and I ended up really thoroughly enjoying the second half. So definitely a film that I recommend. It's not perfect, but at the same time, Gideon is really fascinating as a character, and as a film, I did definitely enjoy it in the end. And if you haven't seen it, if it sounds like your kind of film, I'd say it's worth watching. Part of it is a very relaxing, easy watch, but then there are parts of it that are a lot more emotional. I think they have a really nice balance there, and ultimately, I can't complain. I know it's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it, and if it sounds like it would appeal to you, then I'd say Gideon is one that's worth watching.